take 37 now. What up, YouTube Digital? Lambdog did a video about felons and guns. About they should have, guns. I disagree. It's funny that people keep making videos on YouTube about needing to defend themselves against felons. But they turn around and talk about how felons need their gun rights back. The fact is Haas, I want to put a disclaimer about Haas. Haas is a stand-up guy, okay? He's a man. He'd go up, he'd take his punishment, okay? The problem is most of these felons aren't. So they don't take their punishment. Shit. Most of them never even get their full punishment. Not even close. I mean, most people are getting, they're committing crimes. They're being sentenced for 10 years, but they're getting out and they're being paroled in 2.5. Most of these felons can't even survive parole before they're back in the system. A lot of them, there's a big percentage, I can't remember how many, but they can't even survive out on the streets for 30 fucking days. And I wish I could remember that statistic off the top of my head, because it's so high, it's just fucking stupid. They can't survive on the street for 30 fucking days before recommitting. And we're not talking about smoking a little weed. We're talking about committing other felonies. You are not repaid. You have not repaid your crime until everything is over that you were sentenced. Your time, until the state has declared you free and clear of your time, that includes parole. If you're let out early, you have not repaid your crime. Almost every crime you commit, you get a fine on top of that. Most of them will never pay that. Not even a portion of it. So you have not finished your sentencing until you have completed that. Vader, what do you need? You need to go outside? Debbie, can you let him out? Then, God, I guess he really needs to go outside. Okay. Right. On top of that, felons. Now, this is a part where people always, I see this dive on YouTube. They'll get pissed off about something, but they'll hit a roadblock, and they'll never see any way out of it. Going to the courts, I don't know, whatever. But felons can apply for a pardon, and I've known two. One of them did kind of a messed up crime. One of them did a crime that I'm shocked they pardoned. But they pardoned because he did his shit. And that's the thing. Most of these felons cannot even apologize to their victims. They can't even say they're sorry. Is that adult enough to own a gun? Now again, let's be real. In revolution, laws don't matter. In anarchy, laws don't matter. So it ain't gonna matter. They're gonna have a gun, but they're not gonna play Lieutenant Lambdog's game. They're gonna play their own with their friends. They're gonna play felon games. So they never commit. They never finish. Now, both the people I know that got pardoned finished their sentences, finished their paroles, did everything they needed to do. They repaid their fines. They repaid the restitution. They apologized to the victim. They repaid all their shit. And then on top of that, they gave back to society. We also got to remember, they never pay a fucking dime for all the time they're in prison. that costs what, $100 a day per prisoner. They never repay shit on that. So they repay back to society in their own way. Were they made to do anything out of the ordinary or cruel or unusual or ridiculed or anything else? No. They stood up and became fucking adults and took care of their crimes. So they got pardoned. And guess what? They can own guns. They can vote. They can do all this shit. Hell, a lot of these crimes, if you stay clean and everything else, they'll even, a lot of these felonies now, they'll expunge it. They'll get rid of it. It doesn't exist. You just gotta keep your shit down low and just take care of your shit and just deal. But they can't do it. They just can't fucking do it. Because they don't care. People, it's like people who get hooked on drugs. They don't care. They'll prostitute their baby kids for drugs because they don't care. People want to go, oh, drugs don't hurt people. They do hurt people. They hurt a ton of people. But these people on drugs, they will not get off drugs until they're ready to get off drugs, until they want to get off drugs. Well, the same thing with a felon. They're not going to stop committing felonies. They're not going to stop being a menace to society until they want to. Now, that's where Haas has a problem, because Haas is a man. Haas handles his shit. These people don't. And people that have handled their shit, then people need to tell them to go, apply for their pardon. They can apply, I think most states you can apply every year. And fucking do it. It's your right to be able to be pardoned. The rights people get, they don't use. Like when I could make a whole video on this, but there's no point. It's when a new law comes out. Do people challenge it? No, they just bitch about it. Well, challenge it. No, just you're right. You have a right to challenge it. The Constitution that everybody loves so much, the reason what makes it great is you have a right to challenge it. But people don't. So a lot of felons that have done their shit, they have truly manned up, handled their shit, don't go and try to pardon. I don't know why. People should encourage them. They have that right. If they truly handled their shit and become productive, get them to go try to pardon. People will be surprised. I was surprised one of them. Especially in California, I was surprised about both of them. But Schwarzenegger did both. Schwarzenegger is actually a good governor. Even though people give him shit, he was actually a really good governor. But giving felons the okay to have guns is not the answer. It's not, no. Giving people with mental problems the right to have guns still? No. Giving guys that are stalking these women and beating them and everything else, telling them it's okay for them to have guns? No. No. I mean, look at that latest school shooting. Another fucking school shooting by a mental fucking reject. Could he get help later on and do all that other bullshit? Well, if he didn't kill all those people, yeah, he could probably rehabilitated correctly and manned up for his crime and dealt with it. But with all those murders, he's fucked. He's fucked. The minute we okay and excuse people's bad behavior is the minute we fail as society. And don't worry, we're gonna fail. We have to. It's all societies fail. That's how it is. They get to a point where they can't deal with everything and they fail. Are we close? No. People think we are, but we're not. We're not. Not even close. Not even close. But, yeah. So, if you know of a felon that done this shit, and taken care of, goes to church, whatever the fuck, becomes a decent member of society, pays his taxes, you know, and all that other bullshit, encourage him to go for a pardon. You might not get it the first time. They might want to see a little thing or two. But if people don't exercise their rights, if they don't fulfill their own duties, their own mistakes, repayment of their own crimes fully repaid, and then don't exercise their rights, then what the fuck do they got to bitch about? You know, they did the crime. You know, don't do the crime if you can't do the time. It's that easy. That fucking easy. So, and the more and more people make it fucked up, the more and more these garbage guys. More and more this gets messed up, the more and more it's gonna get. More and more stupid laws are. So, people gotta challenge them more. And people who are not in that area can't challenge them. So people in your own area need to stand up. So, you know, peace. Gotta deal with the garbage.